I hope this message reaches you right when it's meant to. Okay? I got some messages right before I started this video. So we're just gonna calm down, okay? And get right into it. All right. So I'm gonna sit, leg going up again. All right. This one is a deep one. This was a deep message, okay? So, you feeling a lack of love. Your frequency could be, for this collective, I'm feeling like down. You feel down bad, like let down, disappointed in love, in the frequencies of love, right? Because you gave and gave and gave, and your heart felt so unloved, so underappreciated, so unappreciated, unsupported. And I feel like, look, it's these little fairy bugs that's been flying and landing on me all day. And I hope you didn't die. Well, I need my space. And I feel like they just was born. And so this message of anxiety towards the outpouring of love that you've been given from the spirit through your nature, it's messy, right? But it's very important that you structure yourself into the willpower to be open to receive this outpouring of love. It's like, settle down your nervous system and let's just get into it. Intuition. I'm thinking about Intuit, the commercials, where it's just like, think about it. Take a second. Okay? Because you about to crash out if you don't belong here. If you don't belong there, it's weaknesses that's going to pour out through your living in your shadow. There's weaknesses within your shadow, is what I heard before this message is recorded. Before this message is recorded, that because I got the sun in reverse, and it just felt like through your demeaning into your access to your abundant flow. It's almost like you didn't believe you had the gift to be rich, which is, it's manifesting energies, and you do have that gift, right? But through your shadow, you don't believe in that gift. So those weaknesses that came above, okay? And there's so much guilt. There's like practicing guilt. So if that makes sense, I'm going to try and break this down as best as I can. Like I told you, this message is deep, and it goes deeper. And so there could be sabotage attempts to go and ruin you, because I just got this right on top. And there's something about, and there is a demonic spirit baby that's trying to be born through you. Somebody trying to, I hear spirit saying, don't let them take your sperm to go plant a baby into their womb. So, hey, I clock it, and I just give you the wisdom for your confirmations. There's something that's coming that's harboring resentment to your loathsome. So if you feeling like a bad attitude, there's something that wants to make you feel guilty for that, which, okay, here's how I'm feeling it. So you know how your parents would say, I fed you, I clothed you, I put a roof over your head. You should just be grateful and thankful, even if they were abusing you, it's almost that type of guilt, that feeding. Like if you got a bad attitude, then you're not grateful, and you and all this bull, and forget everything that I done did for you. You just gonna be like that. Somebody wants you to feel that guilt, and it's important that you don't feel it. Don't fuse that bomb, okay? Right? You have the gift to defuse it, is what I heard. Diffuse it, how you say it. I got the Empress. Yes, you have the gift. Divine. Thinking about divine masculine, divine feminines. But what I really wanted to say was divine counterpart, and it just feels like it's all in alignment. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, angels. Thank you, God. Thank you, higher selves. Okay, so it's a compliment. Somebody keep going around in circles to you, coming back to you. It's a compliment. 5 of cups, 5 of coins, 5 different people doing 5 different things, 5 different energies, 5 different animosities. I'm looking at a leaf with 5 one of them big old fat leaves that got 5 corners. Spirit, please cleanse and clarify. What does that have to do with anything? What's got to do with something? Yes, the right to go cleanse. You're going to need to do that. So you can gain an understanding. It's like a typical understanding. You could be atypical, right? Or someone that you know. This is a part of that 5. I'm literally seeing 5 ants running around in a circle right now. So this particularly is very important. Here come these fairies again. Yeah, this message is about to get deep. Okay, so hold on, y'all. Hold on. Let me get it for you. I'm looking at this basketball at the corner of my eye. So, in your peripherals, you could be feeling like you're seeing different cornerstones to your perfection. So I see your mother, like somebody's like seeing their mother at the peripherals, like that's not it. That's not the way that I want to be, kind of energy. And it's face value. It's just what you know, what you're going to get from that energy. So it could be a different amount of people for everybody, right? But it's really just about your support and foundation through you growing up and seeing the different ways that they supported you throughout your life and in the right now. So it's important, okay? So I feel like some people, they were supported greatly. You got everything you need. And some people, you were denied support. And you had to do some deep shadow work to give into forgiveness. And that's a 4. That's where I feel like 4s are coming in. 444, angelic spirits, ancestral spirits. And it's giving you the opportunity, it's given into you to recollect the vows that you made to sort of persons so that you can gain perspective, regain relapsed information. This could come to do with like trauma blocks, some childhood experiences that you need to lift up and let go of. This could have to do with money, support, financial, material gains. Let me shuffle some more. Okay, I just got the Hangman. So it's something that you literally have to wait, because there's no progress until you go deep dive into the situation that you were in. I'm thinking about a time where I was homeless when I was a kid. So we had moved to Georgia, okay? Right after a time in my life where I saw things like my parents fighting, and my mom put all my dad's stuff out in the yard and poured, lighter fluid on all of it. And I just remember, like, I can literally see her standing at the door with the metal chain. and him like at the door like, why you did that, blah blah blah, and her like, no, you're not getting in here, blah blah blah, and she's crying, and I'm standing like in the living room, like standing there watching the whole thing in the middle of the living room, and I had to be like 9. So I hear, please don't rush this. So your therapy could be, you know, scrutinized, but it's important that you take your time to heal. And so give back to this information, this experience that I'm sure is important. It's the only reason I'm talking about it. It's important for you to hear. So that was like the inkling that things were not going to get better. And so all of a sudden, my parents, it was just something broke. And my mom was just, she's the type of person that she made a decision, she stood on that. So all I remember now is that we were driving and she wouldn't tell us where we were going. And we ended up in New York. We live in South Carolina. She drove us to New York. And it was like, my aunt was in the car and like 2 or 3 of my cousins. It was a small car and it was really hot. I remember that. And it was me and my 3 sisters. So I was 9. My youngest sister was 4 or about to be 4. And so the middle one of us was like 6 maybe, or 7. I think she was 7. And she would not tell us where we were going. So it wasn't until we got there that we were like, okay, we're in New York. We had been there before. My dad's from there. And so she left us with an aunt who had like 4 or 5 kids. I think it was 4 kids. And, you know, this apartment, 3-bedroom apartment where like, it was like 10 people living in there. And this was in 2004, so there was no cell phones. You know, you couldn't just call somebody like that. And the house phone, you could only be one conversation at a time type deal. So it wasn't like I had access to call my mama. And she just left us there. Now, in her opinion, she left us there with her mother. But I saw my Nana one time, the whole time that I was there. And we were there for like 30 days or something like that before my dad's sister came to get us and took us to her house. So my other aunt. And so it was a really fucked up experience. And then when we came back to Charleston, it was like, just slide through. We didn't live there no more. My mom took us right to Georgia. So it was like before the schools started. So that was summertime when she took us to New York because no school was in. And then when we got back, we was in Georgia before the new school year started. And it was just like, and I didn't see my daddy the whole time. So it was just like, it was crazy. And then we got evicted after the school year. So I did 5th grade, and then we somehow was back in Charleston with my Nana and her new husband that she had met in New York. That's important for some reason. I'm saying what needs to be said. Like that summer. And then we was all living in this 1-bedroom apartment. Okay? That was my daddy's. Okay, and I remember the police, one experience where we were living there, the police came and like ransacked the apartment. Like they did a search, but you know how they do. And if you don't know, they will take all your stuff and dump it out and just leave the place a whole mess because they're looking for something. Tear apart the couch cushions, whatever. They don't care. And so very traumatic experiences for me to go through within a year. And so top level, like I'm sure there were things that happened in between that. Like, yes, Spirit wants me to mention this. I saw my daddy naked by accident. I opened the bathroom door. I was not supposed to. Like these type of experiences created some blocks that I don't even want to remember, like most of the stuff that happened throughout that year. And so I feel like, you know, and that homelessness was really something because it was like, before we went to Georgia, we had a house for the first time in our lives. I had my own room and things were just like different and they felt like they were going to get better. And then it just shifted. I feel like all my dreams and hopes just got shitted on and I was just put in charge of taking care of my sisters in a whole new city, New York City at that. And it's like something within me broke. It snapped. Something snapped on, a light snapped on, but then a darkness also erodes some of that light. So demeaning certain values that you have was once thought to be a safety mechanism, a safety measure to keep you safe. I feel like something that you used to do, somebody would be like, oh, you showing off, like your smarts, your wit, your power, your comedy, the way you can make people laugh. Maybe you're very good at finding things, you know what I'm saying? Nobody else could find it, and then you go look for it, and it's like that. Like your intuition was always so very on point, and you were also this personality-based entity that had this sense of authority over yourself, and people demeaned you for that. They rocked your boat. They wanted to make you feel like a shadow, is what I heard, and not like a person, not like a frequency. Okay? And so it created this doubt, I feel like, that you had within yourself, that these parts of you were not deserving to exist, which is real mad. Like, it's fucked up. Like, it's really, like, I'm mad about that for you. Like, I'm pissed off. And so I feel like that's how your ancestors are realigning with the subject. Like, baby, you know what I'm saying? We don't gotta be mad for you, but we apologize for what, you know, the insane accusations that you went through, where people just wanted to make you feel small and little, even though you had this big up personality and this wave of emotion that I feel like was binded, because people around you, they did not want to feel that emotion. They didn't want to be emotional. They wanted to be stoic and in charge. They wanted to have control, and having emotions don't feel like you're in control. So when you came through and you just this emotional, you know, type of energy, I feel like even when you sing, something is felt, it's heard. You push people to make emotions, and they forced you to mask that. They forced you to mask that, and they don't want me to talk about it. They don't want me to make a decision for you, to show you that you are the mask remover. Because look what just came out. I got the Two of Swords, and she's in this decision making. I'm not sure yet, but I know I got to swing one of these swords to make sure it happens. And there's teaching values that you have. There's something that wants to come out of you. And so the masquerade ball, the mask and the masqueraders, they got to come down. And so Spirit is teaching you that, and to help you release this episode of, I feel like, just going back and forth, like it's a rerun. It's a loop that you're in that's breaking. The mask is breaking off of that loop so that you could see it clearly. And the way out. The way out is coming. I'm getting straight distance, miles and miles from the ways that things used to be, is what I heard. These antiquities, you know, things that might have been lasted forever, and now finally here comes due, the cycle breaker. That's going to make that generational wealth. That's going to become abundant, okay, in your wealth of knowledge, because it's about you. It's about you masquerading the hope. What that mean? Okay, so knowing your future and making a spectacle out of it, like making a connection to God and the divine, and knowing that you can flaunt that shit. I feel like flaunt your wrist, like yes, you know, because they hurt you too much for you to stay stagnant. If you stay stagnant, you're going to keep remaining in that loop. So what needs to happen now is to put distance, to keep putting distance. I feel like you've already done so in certain aspects, right? But you got to keep putting distance. And somebody with them devil babies, somebody with a like, and I'm saying they manifested this baby through some dark shit. Poison is what I just heard. That felt heavy too, and the wind is blowing like crazy. Let me show y'all the trees. Look at the wind blowing. Look at that. Y'all, this is a mess. This a mess. They don't want you to see. They covering it up. They cover it up thinking they covered from God. Baby, you can't hide from God. Don't you know that? All right, so I feel like my phone's gonna say it ran out of storage real quick, because that's just what's been happening lately. And so I've been trying to keep these videos down to a few minutes, not my usual hours and things like that. But it's also important that we know that we don't have to do too much. It's just like a clip, like a sense. Like I feel like somebody want to cut their hair, but just like a little bit, just like a little essence, you know what I'm saying? Because it's more about you delving deep into who you know you are, to figuring that out. I'm still looking at these ants. It's the same ants. Yes, and nature is communicating with you. Okay? You have a divine spirit that calls to nature and the voices around you, and it brings you peace. Look how this woman is just like in tune with the Beatles. You know what I'm saying? They trust her, they respect her, they love her. So I feel like that's type your energy, where it's just like, yeah, you're loved by all. You're beloved by all, the universe. And there's somebody that wants to demean that fact. They want to take that love from you. They want it for themselves, but they will never get that. You know why? Because they are inauthentic. They're pretending to be this wolf when really, look at this. Look at this evil entity attached to that. Something just hit my back on the left side. Nose itchy. Yeah. We're going to stop it there. Okay? And I love you. And just keep coming back for more. Please hit that like button. And just trust me, like, the devil won't win this one. Okay? Them succubus energies, them incubus. I'm hearing like this Queen of Wands. She won't win. This divine spirit is encouraging you to keep going, because this Queen of Wands here that came out before this reading started, that it just popped back into my head right when I was about to end the video. Do y'all see the fucking play work that they be trying? But we gonna get this message out. So yeah, there's somebody that wants you to be destitute. They love chaos. They love when your energy is not shining, when you're falling down into pieces. They love that, because then it makes them feel more powerful. So if you've made it to the end of this video, this message was for you, and you need to clock that, baby. You need to clock that shit right now, right when I'm saying it, because I'm sure you're getting a message of confirmation in another way right now. 23. Okay, so keep powerful. Somebody born August 23rd. Fuck shit. My best friend, my ex-best friend, used to be a best friend. That was her birthday. And I just got this, somebody celebrating on your downfall. They want you to fall so bad, but guess what? You are so divinely protected by the spirit. Baby, I got this money chain around my neck. Listen, the way that divine occupies your resistance, though, I'm saying their frequencies come through to help you block out whatever is trying to be insane against you. I hope that makes sense, bruh. Okay? Yeah. Woo. That was a good message. I really hope that this reaches you, and let's melt away the fear. Okay? Don't be in disharmony to your kind spirit. Don't disregard who you are. Authentically, keep on going, keep on climbing, okay? Keep on loving, because that's who you are deep within. That's who you are. Give that to yourself. Do yourself some honor and give deep love to you, baby. I love you. I'll see you soon.